These are the 2002 to 2004 new Flyer D60HFs, the third and last D60HFs, and the last high-floor articulated buses of New York City Transit. Now their fleet numbers range from 5510 to 5769, with 5510 to 5559 being 2002 models, 5560 to 5756 being 2003 models, and 5757 to 5769 being 2004 models. So, without further ado, let's go to the list of depots that received New York City Transit's last order of D60HFs. Here we go. So 5510 to 5559 were split between 126 Michael J. Quill and 100th Street Depot, present-day Tuskegee Airmen Depot, while 5600 to 5644 were also delivered to 126th Street Depot, which has been closed since 2015. Anyway, 5645 to 5679 were delivered to West Farms Depot, while 5680 to 5721 were delivered to Kingsbridge Depot. Many of them are still passed around between Kingsbridge and West Farms to this very day. While last but certainly not least, 5722 to 5769 were delivered to Michael J. Quill Depot. Unfortunately, a few units have been written off prematurely due to various fires, accidents, and other related incidents, and several units were renumbered to the 100 series due to the arrival of the 2017 Novabus LFSAs being numbered as 5439 to 5530. So these new Flyer D60HFs are pretty much the same as the previous order, just with some minor and significant improvements. Even though there were some nitpicks from certain drivers, passengers, and of course mechanics, and transit fans, but other than that, they're good buses. And these D60HFs signify the use of the Detroit Diesel Series 50 engine, which sounds like this. Now, I'm not alone in this review. Let's hear what fellow transit fans have to say.
Hello everyone, this is Reg of the Elite Transit Network, and here to give my thoughts and opinions on the 2002-2004 New Flyer D60HFs. Now, the first ride I remember going on was 3rd Avenue on the M103. Now, growing up in New York City, I wasn't too keen on riding the Arctic buses because, I had a natural fear of them riding them through Manhattan and the Bronx. So the very first ride in Manhattan, like I said, was the M103, and it went up 3rd Avenue, and back then it was part of a different depot. It was part of 126th Street when it was back in service. Now, I remember this vividly on the M102, back then when we had the, Northeast Blackout in 2003, and the M102 was parked right there at 147th Street, and it was the Michael J. Quill route. Back then, before it was the Tuskegee Airmen and lots of other routes that went along with it. Now, with 3rd Avenue, you barely know what kind of equipment you're going to get, but it's a less waiting time when you're waiting along that corridor, so you can take either the 101, 102, or 103. And those buses are definitely cool, especially around this time of the year, which is summertime. Now, in the Bronx, the only time I ever remember riding on was the BX9, and every time it hits that hill between Heath and Sedgwick Avenue, it has to struggle, and the driver has to keep flooring it just to make it up that hill. But I did hear once that some of the transmissions blew out because, of the extra stress it has to go up that hill. Now, the first RTs that actually ran here in Queens that prepped us for our XD60s was right here at Baisley. And we ran them pretty good on the 111 and 113 because this is Gary Avrua. I remember the bus numbers vividly from 53, 55 to 53, 68. Or was it 53, 49? I'm not really sure. Now, when JFK wanted to get their orders, they started testing them out as well on the Q10. Now, the thing is with the Q10, it's kind of like Garabura, but it's a little bit more narrow. Now, even though these buses are slowly retiring due to the incoming fleets of the Nova LFSAs and XD60s, I definitely am going to miss these buses when they're gone, because this is kind of like saying goodbye to all the Detroit Diesel 50s engine that's pretty much powered all the buses, besides the RTSs, the Orion 5s, and many other pieces of equipment. But the D60HFs pretty much stood out, and I especially like the ones that have the orange LED lights, the 5700s in general. You can still ride them in the Bronx and, of course, in Manhattan, but I encourage you to get your last rides in soon, because sooner or later, it'll all be gone. So I'm glad to make sure I got all my rides in, even the ones that I recorded from 8 years ago, and my goodness, it's a long time. But these rides will never be forgotten, and I enjoy every single chance that I get, with its fast acceleration and, of course, the cool AC. So, with that said, this is Reg of BLE Transit saying don't let anyone steal your joy. Keep it simple, keep it real, and safe travels. Kal-El, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Alright guys, here are my thoughts on the 2002 to 2004 D60HFs. The first time I remember the 2002 to 2004 units were on the BX-19. Back when the BX-19 was being converted into Arctics, it first had 96 units. Then like maybe a few months later, it was fully 2002 to 2004 units. And those units, the newer ones, they really fitted the BX-19. When I was little, I chose 2 units out of West Farms to focus on, 5648 and 5665. I chose those 2 because, as a kid, I rode them back to back, coming from my aunt's house, on separate days. Now 5648, I remember it being at West Farms, and then it was sent to JFK Depot for MTA bus service, and then when JFK got its XD60s, 5648 and the others were sent back to New York City Transit, but 5648 did not go back to West Farms. I think it went back to Tuskegee Airmen. But 5665, however, that bus did like a champ at West Farms. Stood there until retirement. That's why I call it a true player. The design of the 2002-2004 units, I mean, I could honestly say I like the older units better. The newer design, especially with the stop request tape, the plastic going over it just made it feel strange. Take it off, should have had the classic ones. That's my opinion though. Well, I'm not gonna say these units are terrible because they really aren't, but compared to the 1996 to 98 units, nah, I don't think it really feels the same. Not like that. But however, 5635 and 5665 to 5769, the handover signs, that's when it started kicking in. That's when the new tapes and other stuff, that's when it really fitted in on the 2002 to 2004 units. The green Megamax, is it? No, Max 3000. Those did not belong on the 2002 to 2004 units. Max 3000, it's kind of neat. But that's for 1990s units, not for something in the 21st century. Not like that. I think overall, the 2002 to 2004, they were okay. Not my favorites. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be the 1999 to 2000 units. But these 2002 to 2004 units, they were pretty fair. In fact, I'm trying to capture as much as I can, because by the beginning of 2019, they were pretty much all gone. With the newer LFSA and XD60s coming in, time to get your pictures now. That's my thoughts on the 2002 to 2004 D60HFs.
Alright, so here are my thoughts of the 2002 to 2004 New Flyer D60HF Galaxy. The third installment and the last ever D60HF Galaxy step ground to New York City, it has vast improvements from the last two orders. It has newer interior design, newer light fixtures. The back is a little different from the last two. And the displays, half of them were the illuminated flipped out destination signs, and some rocked with orange LED displays on the late 2003 and 2004 unit. The rides are a lot smoother from the last two orders. It's a less rockier than the last two, as more of a distinctive sound, which is actually awesome because it rocks a Detroit Diesel 50 EGR engine with the Allison B500R transmission. A lot of people argue that it's either the 2002-2003 units, but it's actually 2002 to 2004 units, because 5705 to 5769 were 2004 units, 5567 to 5704 were 2003 units, and 5510 to 5566 were 2002 units. What I like about the D60HF Galaxies, the ride blows you away, and it's a hell lot faster, and it feels a little lighter too. And they were the first buses to use for the SBS bus back in 2008 for the BX12 Select, which of course it converted back to local due to the newer LFSAs at the time. And now since the newer batches of Arctics are coming up, these buses will be gone forever. So my thoughts will never be forgotten, and New York City will never be the same without the high floor articulated buses that have set foot through New York City ever again.
Now, I personally think that these D60HFs are the backbone of the articulated fleet, since they're basically the OG articulated buses of New York City Transit. And you know what? I think they definitely deserve that title. I mean, the D60HFs in general made a huge impact on New York City Transit. And you know what? If it wasn't for these D60HFs, I don't think there'll be any New Flyer XD60s, XN60s, or even Novabus LFSAs flying the streets of New York City for that matter. So you know what? I think we ought to give these buses some well-deserved credit. Some of you guys may look at these buses as junk compared to the newer articulated fleet, but these buses are the ones that started it off. As you can see, these units were later given the white back in the decal scheme, which I personally dislike. Though on the other hand, when it's clean and properly maintained, it does look pretty decent. When the BX12 Select bus service debuted in June 28, 2008, some of these D60s were wrapped in the Select bus service scheme, which I thought made these buses look beyond badass, as seen in these here photos. Though there's still a good number of these D60s still in service, their days are slowly coming to an end. So this is the opportunity to get your rides, photos, and of course footage, because you never know when their last days will be. But I'd like to see what the future holds for these D60HFs. And I sure hope they preserve one of these babies, because they made a huge impact on New York City Transit. So as for these D60s, enjoy them while they're still kicking it. So with that said, this is Kal-El, and thanks for watching.